Check it out. Who that? Handsome devil right now. 1 years old, baby. Sparkling doo-doo brown eyes in there. That, my friends, is a picture of me when I was 1 years old that sits on the wall in front of me at the top of the loft. So that every single morning I wake up and I see, oh, that's him in there. That little dude is still in here. Most of y'all would never dream of treating your little selves, that little 1 year old version of y'all selves, the way that you treat your adult self now. You would be patient, you would be kind, you would be compassionate, you would be playful, you would be concerned with whether or not they're having a good time or not. You'd make sure they were fed properly, clothed properly for the occasion. We would never dream of talking to or treating that little human the way that we treat ourselves as adults. Ever. So here's a couple of suggestions for y'all. Find yourself a younger picture of yourself and throw that picture on the phone and or print it out, frame it, put it in your bedroom somewhere so that somewhere along the way in your first early morning routines, you take a look and you remind yourself, well, who's in there? I get a lot of disagreement on this next piece of things I'm about to say. I also get a lot of agreement. Who do y'all think truly knows y'all inner selves better now? The person that's alive in this moment or that little dude right there? I would argue to y'all that this fool, he knows deeper inner truths about this fool that this dude don't know yet, that this dude has forgotten. I'll tell you why. Because a little earlier, this was happening. I was plugged up to every cord, every tube, every machine you could ask for. Born 3 months early. Came out the size of like a crappy avocado or a shitty cell phone with nary a heartbeat and ain't no lungs. My father, in the original handwriting, mind you, it's a letter to my mother's mother. Dear Elaine, it's a boy, born Wednesday, 1:30 a.m., weighed 3 pounds, 3 ounces, and as of 5 p.m. was fighting to stabilize. It appears he may have a chance. 1 year later, give or take, here come this man. He kicking. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, other than a set of chicken legs that I can go to the zoo with and have any flamingo I want, and have giraffes get in fights over who gonna take me to dinner, and go to the park and get hit on by some pigeons, and the attention span of a deranged gnat, I'm doing pretty well around here. We have to remember that our little selves knew more about what we needed and still do than what we know right now. Because this dude who be fighting all tubed up on the bed, he didn't have no language. But the boy knew how to fight, boy. Deep down inside, that guy wanted to stay alive. He didn't have the language for it. He didn't have the tools for it. But that inner self, he knew he wanted to stick around. He knew he was ready to fight hard as he could fight to kick it. A little bit more relevant example for y'all, and my my heart goes out to y'all parents running around here that struggling with this one. But you want proof of this idea that our little selves know ourselves better than our adult selves? Y'all ever tried to put a little kid into an outfit they don't want to be in? It's fucking chaos. Whether it's because of the way it fits, the texture, the color, the tightness, the looseness. They don't have the language for it. Culture hadn't gotten a hold of them yet. They ain't worried about impressing nobody or worrying about fashion statements or fashion fads and what's in, what's out, and catering to brands and all this. None. No. But they know they like something or don't like something. Try and put them in that dress or that outfit to go to church in or something. And they be squirming, boy. They go nuts. They're, get me out of this thing. They don't have the language for it yet. But they know they don't like the shit. And then on the contrary, what do we got? Y'all got y'all parents running around there with your kids who won't get out of an outfit where you're like, this is great, man. I don't have to do laundry. This is fantastic. They're wearing the same outfit for 6 days because they just love it. They feel comfortable and they love the way it fits, what have you. Deep down, our littlest selves knows so much about what we want and what we need and who we are and how at home we are with ourselves. Then along come culture and just takes it right out of us. Now we worried about pleasing dude next door. We worried about keeping up with the Joneses and shit. Nope. Check back in. I'm telling you, y'all check back in. Get you pictures of your littlest self hanging. Now, let's take it a step further. And this one, this go a minute. This go a long way right here. If y'all in a relationship, if you with just one other person, or were you polygaming up and you polyamoring and you got 10 partners, no judgment, do what you do. You just gonna have to like go print out a few more photos. But get you a photo of the little version of your partner or partners. It's gonna remind you that that's who's really in there. And again, you would never dream of talking to the 2-year-old version of your partner the way that you dream of talking to them right now. Not a prayer. And if you would, you probably need to go talk to somebody in a hurry. It is one of the greatest reminders that that is who is in there. And one of my favorite things in the whole wide world that I have suggested to so many couples through the years is when they go finally decide if they're going to get married, or even if they're not, but for the sake of the moment, I'm talking about the people that trying to get hitched. They put a picture of each of them little selves framed up next to each other somewhere in the mix of that, on a desk, on the altar, whatever. Because this reminder of these little souls is still in there, and that's who's pairing up. And it reminds them to be patient with one another. It reminds them to check in with themselves. Hey, what do you really need? Encourages them to speak their own truths. And there's one other piece to this little self puzzle that I have found for so many, many, many people, including myself, that has been incredibly effective at facilitating healing, patience, wisdom, you name it. And that is the following. Take a moment and ask yourself, and some of y'all have heard this idea before, but we're going to look at it a different way here in a minute. If you could go back in time and say one thing, you get one sentence to tell your younger self, pick an age, I don't care, 5 and younger. And this is under the presumption that they can understand what you're talking about. They can conceptualize it, right? What are you going to go tell them? When I ask people this question, some of the most brutally honest and loving things come up. Responses like, it's okay. You're perfectly safe. It's going to be all right. Just keep chugging. The pain will all be worth it. The struggles will make you stronger. Your dad really did love you the best he could. Truths come out like y'all wouldn't believe. So start asking that question for a moment. What would you say to your younger self? Got your answer? Now, let's turn it on its head. What would your younger self say to you right now if they walked through the door and saw the life you're living and saw the person you've become and are becoming? Provided that they could talk. I tell you right now, this dude will walk in this house and he would just be, oh, yo, bro, well done. Way to like live your truth, man. Way to never stop compromising on what was right for you. Way to never fall into cultural traps that you felt weren't right for you. Nice work on the house. Way to keep drumming. And dude, quite the bitch and beard you got going on now. Let's go. Holla. I am so proud of you for the way that you have shown up for yourself. I am so proud that you have loved yourself. And I'm so proud that you never stop looking for the right partners at the right time in your life. You need it. And I'm so, so, so proud that you chose love over anger. You chose love over anger. Guarantee you that's what that little dude would say to me. And we're bringing it home to the kicker. And here's how I know. And what I'm about to propose to y'all, some of y'all gonna think this is some woo ass shit, boy. You're like, you crazy. But I'm telling you, it takes some practice. Give it a whirl. Go write a letter to your younger self. Pick an age, don't care, somewhere below like 5. Again, with the presumption that that little human being down there can hear you, can understand you, can feel you, is still in there, what have you, right? Still listening. Go write that letter and then sit on it for a few days. Pick a different colored pen or pencil, come back, and let that little self that you wrote to write back to you. Little crazy sounding. Yes, sir. Something miraculous will happen if you let it. You can actually start a journal of dialogue that will evolve. And you can do this with any age you want. Take some practice now. So here's what you do. Go pick different, I mean, just to get you started. Like, this is just a warm up. Get you like a picture of you at like 1, maybe like 5 or 7, and then one when you're like 13 or something. And for those of you that are watching this that you ain't but 13 anywho, like, cool, go back in time, pick any lower age, fine. Get a couple of those pictures of that age. You may need to ask your parents if they're still alive or do some digging, what have you, of what was going on for you at that time. What was going on in life? Where were you at? How were you feeling? What were you going through? Yada yada. Get in that frame of mind and remember who it is you're writing to. You write to that person and then you let them come back a few days later. They will write back to you. It's such a wild process to practice and to get good at. And you will find that there is a little self still down in there. They still got tons to say to you, tons of guidance, tons of wisdom. You will be amazed at how much gold is still down in there. Don't get me wrong, my therapist is baller, boy. I love me some Jeff. Shout out to my boy Jeff David, boy. He is, he's so good to me. He's so good for me. He is fantastic. But as much wisdom as that dude has for me, this dude right here, this dude, he is the ultimate advisor. And I have found through the years, of all of the years that I've been playing around with this concept and teaching others to do it, my 1-year-old self is the one that has the most wisdom. That's a whole different discussion. But start looking around. You will find the different ages of you have different versions of wisdom for you, different guidance, different lessons, etc. It's phenomenal. Sound a little woo for you, don't relate to it? That's cool. Just a suggestion. But I'm telling you, for those of y'all to give this an honest shot, is a powerful, powerful suggestion. And if you really want to kick it to a wild place, and this has done some really cool things for a lot of couples that I've worked with, go write a letter to your partner's younger self. And you'll start hearing things like, I promise I'm going to do the best I can to take care of you. I promise I'm doing my best around here to love you through what you're going through, to love you through your dad dying of cancer, to love you through your job loss and the pressure and anxiety you feeling right now for providing for this family, whatever it is that y'all going through. It's a powerful exercise to have you fall deeper in love with your partner and show up in a deeper patience and compassion for one another. I hope that y'all learned something from this. I hope it provided a tool or two you can take with you and giving y'all some things to think about in an effort to live higher quality, better lives, whatever that feels like that means for y'all. Love y'all so much. Long time. We'll see you soon.